Everyone, thank you for joining in on another Uncapped Liquid Lunch. If you are watching this, I highly recommend you check out the podcast that we'll be releasing later this week with Cushwa. We recorded that, I think that was back in February, maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, just keep on listening all the way to the end because we'll be tacking the podcast on after this. This will be playing before the podcast. So I'm joined with Marcus Thomas, one of the co-founders of Cushwa.
How y'all doing?
So let's see. I mean, it was forever ago, and the plan was we're going to record that podcast, release it the week of, or maybe the week before your new brewery opened. And then global pandemic hit and all kinds of plans changed. So Marcus was nice enough to give us a little more of his time to talk about how some of the plans have changed, but you're still opening a new brewery. It is opening. You made the exciting announcement yesterday. So you want to go ahead and tell people the news?
Yeah. We actually are moving forward with essentially opening our tap room, but not allowing anybody inside. So we're going to carry on curbside service now at the new location. It was just a transitional thing that we needed to obviously give up the lease on the old space, and we had pretty much everything cleaned out. So we were like, why not just go for it? So starting Wednesday, 2 o'clock, we will start our curbside service just as we were doing in the old space, and helping out our customers get the beer that they're looking to put in their fridge and partake.
And so where is the new location located? It's going to be hard to find for anyone that has been to the original brewery, right?
It's it's not too bad. It's actually where our current tap room is. If you would drive past that and drive back to the next building, so you would follow the road alongside our tap room, it would be the first unit in that next building back that faces 81. So address is 10210 Governor Lane Boulevard, Suite 2010. So 2010 would be what you guys need to know to show up at the tap room.
So yeah, if you've been to Cushwa's original place, you'll have absolutely no problem finding their new spot. Just look behind the building. But although it faces the opposite direction, so you have to go behind the building, keep going a little bit, and then you'll be right there.
Really, a couple hundred feet from our old space, so not that far at all. Not much more.
All right, hold on. Good. I think you're glitching a little bit right there.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So what he was saying was it's just directly behind. So real quick, I found out some exciting information about your old location today that it's going to continue to be a place for people to go get beer.
Yeah.
And help make, I'm pretty sure that you guys with your new spot when everything's open was going to be a destination in and of itself, but Homemade, is it beer company or brewing company? Oh, I should look that up. Homey Brewing, we'll say that. And
brewing beer.
Yeah, is moving into your old spots. So that's kind of exciting. You're making Williamsport a little bit of a beer destination.
Yeah. Stephen Perez, he had reached out to us. I know that he was in talks with a couple different locations. Actually, I think he started in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and then kind of made his way into Washington County and was looking for space. And he had been a regular in our tap room, so we've come to know him. And he approached us, and we're like, why not? Basically, the equipment that's in there is ready to use. It's a turnkey system. He just basically has to get in there and start learning how to use it. So it was kind of like a no-brainer for both sides. Those guys are doing good things as far as the styles of beer that they're putting out. So I think, and actually all of us here at Cushwa, I think it's a great thing for the community and for this area for people to come here.
Yeah, it gives people even more of a reason to drive out to Williamsport and check you guys out.
Absolutely. So I guess that would make, once Homemade is fully functional, we'll have four breweries here in the Washington County area. So it's awesome.
Oh yeah, there are.
Upper Stem. Well, he's not technically completely open, but he has been putting some beers out there. So,
and then so what? I guess if there's any silver lining to how things are playing out right now, it's that your new location has all the bells and whistles for what you need to be able to operate efficiently in the current climate, in that you have a nice big canning line so that you can can a ton of beer for people to take away in those the curbside pickup.
Yeah. Going to this expansion is we were always going to have a canning line. It just we didn't think at that point in time that it was going to come into play as much as it has recently with the pandemic that's going on. We had to shift our initiative from pretty much going kegging to partial canning to essentially all canning because there's no restaurants, there's no pubs, there's nowhere to send keg beer, so we had to put our beer out in a different package that could be consumable.
So are you going to do Crowler fills at all, or are you just canning everything for 4-packs to go?
It's an odd thing right now because majority of the beer is going straight into 16-ounce cans. We still have some beers that we are kegging for draft. You can still receive one in a Crowler, but as long as this goes on and as much beer we're putting kind of dwindle a little bit. Right now we've got like 12 on. I think when we open up over here, 17 beers on draft. But some of those, there's only so many of them in inventory. So that may dwindle and you may see more cans than actual draft, but right now we've got a nice mix.
Nice. So, but for the time being, do people, I forget how your ordering goes. Can they pull up an order, or is it order ahead only and then pick up at the curb?
You can actually do both. We started out, when we started curbside, we were doing take your order, and we kind of got that down to a science. We were pretty good at turning around orders. But then we decided to latch on. And I guess it's 4 weeks now that we've been using that, and you saw a total like 180 as far as convenience. People rather pre-order their purchase and just pick it up. It makes it more seamless, less, obviously it's contactless, but we're actually still doing both. So if people want to order ahead, so be it. If they would like to just pull up, place their order with the server, we can do that too.
How and now with being able, well, one, your your brew house and your fermenters are exponentially larger than they originally were.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sending a lot of beer out into distribution, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How wide of a distribution footprint are you sending out into?
And pretty much covering the whole state of Maryland, which is pretty much complete. I don't have all the details, but I do know that our beer has reached almost all of Maryland, and we're actually trickling into the Delaware area and Northern Virginia.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of social media posts. People are pretty excited about being able to easily get your beer now.
Yeah,
it was much more difficult this time last year.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see all of our fans, as far as like at least in the immediate area, even the whole way out in the Delaware, Northern Virginia, that were craving our beer but really couldn't get their hands on it. So now it's nice to see that they're able to enjoy it.
So once people are allowed to be around each other, are you guys going to have a grand opening party, or do you have anything planned for that, or still just trying to take things day to day, not planning too far in advance?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to plan for something you just don't know when that will happen. But we will do something. I mean, that's just who we are. We like to blow things out. We definitely want to have a big party and kind of showcase this place, even though people have probably, with the social media post yesterday and people driving up, they're going to get a good taste or able to see him, but not actually experience it in person inside. So we definitely have something in mind, what that is and when. We really haven't gotten into those details yet.
What's the name of the pizza place that's opening in there again?
Rad Pies.
Okay, I knew it was Rad something.
Yeah.
Is Rad Pies going to be doing to-go food also, or are they waiting until you can fully open?
The intent for those guys is to open hopefully sometime the beginning of June.
Okay.
Open for like to-go orders only, obviously.
Yeah.
They're actually up here today, and they're working diligently on finishing up the kitchen and doing some other things. So I know when I talked to Adam, the head chef, who's for Rad Pies, he was saying sometime in the beginning of June they hope to be open and serving.
Like you say that in my mind, it sounds so far away, and then I remember that it's almost mid-May and that it's actually really, really soon. Because my thought was like, well, I don't know, why are you being so definitive that it will only be takeout? I mean, June's far away. We might be able to sit and enjoy things. Like, nope, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks away. So yeah. Although I have heard that we might reach a phase 1 here and then in another week. What that'll look like, I don't know, but we'll just kind of have to take that day by day and see if it makes sense to open the doors, if that's a potential, and how that looks coming inside.
I mean, though, at least what's good for them is that it's a very to-go type of food.
Yeah.
And even better, it is the perfect type of food that pairs very nicely with some to-go beer. So that should at least do well until people can actually come in and enjoy the tap room. Because I mean, it's a beautiful tap room and it's humongous.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that we don't get to enjoy it yet.
Yeah, it is a shame, but I mean, people have been yearning for this. I know a lot of the customers that have come in over the past 3 years to our what it was our tap room. It was always asked, more seating. We need more seating, and so. I mean, we are not short of seating or standing room in this new place. So I think people are going to be super happy that they aren't bumping elbows with other people in the brewery. They definitely can spread your wings in this new spot. And I think people will be super stoked about it.
And plenty of time, plenty of space at the bar now too, so you won't be a crowded jockeying for position to order a beer.
Yeah, we've got a nice sized bar. I'm actually sitting at the bar right now and looking out over it. I mean, there's probably at least 20 to 25 stools at the bar, and there's, they're not crowded. So people are going to be pretty pleased, I think, with what we have to offer them now going forward.
So what kind of exciting beers do you guys have coming up?
It seems like every week, man. Like we're just kind of spreading our wings, I guess you could say, as far as getting into some other things that we just haven't been able to do because of the volume that we could put out, and just trying to maintain some of those flagship beers that we've been doing. So now we can kind of get into some of the, let's say, like experimental beers and like things like new recipes, and not just doing the same stuff. But I mean, as you can see, like this week, for instance, we have a Hefeweizen coming out. They're actually canning that right now. Watching them back there in the production space. So that'll be available. We've got Synonymous, which has been one of our beers that we've put out probably over the past 2 years. That's a double IPA. And oh my, what we got? We got another double IPA we're canning on Thursday, Natural Progression. And that's also been out for a couple years, but now we're actually able to put it in a 16-ounce format and get it into more hands. It's pretty exciting. It seems like every 2 or 3 cans for a business. So it's 3 days of brewing and 2 days of canning. There's not much time for anything else.
Well, I think it's probably going to be much worse once you have people flooding into the tap room too. So it's not like there's going to be relief when things go back to normal.
No, but I guess at least at this stage in the game, we know we're not going to run out of beer, like we did when we opened our doors the first time. So.
All right, Marcus, I want to thank you so much for your time. I know how, you just explained how busy all of you guys are, and you've got a lot to do around the new place, finishing touches. And so I really appreciate your time and giving us an update on everything you guys told us a few months ago.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I appreciate the time, and, looking forward to the day we can all hang out again and share a beer.
Yeah, that will be awesome. So thank you everyone for watching and listening. Cheers. And if you're listening, keep on listening, because there's I think originally we talked for a little over an hour on the other episode. So don't hit stop.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, guys. Take care.